Let me share something that might shock you. I currently have 17 active credit cards in my wallet, and before you think I've lost my mind, understand that these cards have helped me generate over $2.3 million in business revenue last year alone. But here's the catch. This strategy nearly bankrupted me 15 years ago when I didn't understand the rules of the game. The question isn't whether you should use multiple credit cards, it's whether you have the financial maturity to handle them. There's a fundamental truth about money that separates the wealthy from the perpetually struggling. Money is not just currency, it's a tool, a weapon, and most importantly, a test of character. I've watched brilliant entrepreneurs destroy themselves with a single financial decision, and I've seen average people build empires by understanding one simple principle. Leverage without discipline is destruction, but leverage with strategy is liberation. The difference between a millionaire and someone drowning in debt isn't the amount of money they have. It's how they think about and use financial instruments. Now, after managing hundreds of employees across my businesses and advising thousands of clients in my consulting firm, I've learned that credit cards are like chainsaws, incredibly powerful tools in the right hands, deadly weapons in the wrong ones. Let me tell you about my friend Marcus, who owns a tech startup in Silicon Valley. 3 years ago, he had one credit card with a $5,000 limit. Today, he has 12 cards with a combined limit of $180,000, and he's used that credit strategically to fund inventory, manage cash flow gaps, and earn over $15,000 annually in rewards and cashback. The key word here is strategically. Here's what most people get wrong about multiple credit cards. They think it's about having more spending power. Wrong. It's about financial flexibility, credit utilization optimization, and reward maximization. When I speak at entrepreneurship conferences across the United States and Canada, I always tell my audience this: your credit score isn't just a number, it's your financial reputation in digital form. The mathematics are simple but powerful. If you have one credit card with a $10,000 limit and you use $3,000, your utilization is 30%. Not terrible, but not optimal. However, if you have 5 cards with $2,000 limits each and use that same $3,000, your utilization drops to 30% across all cards. But most importantly, you can distribute that usage to keep individual card utilization under 10%, which credit bureaus love. But here's where it gets interesting, and where I made my biggest mistake years ago. I thought having more cards meant I could spend more. I was wrong, and it cost me dearly. In 2009, I had 8 credit cards and was carrying $47,000 in debt across them. I was making minimum payments, paying ridiculous interest rates, and my credit score dropped to 580. I remember sitting in my office in Montreal, looking at statements scattered across my desk, realizing I had become a cautionary tale. The turnaround came when I treated each card like a business account with a specific purpose. Card 1, business expenses with 2% cash back. Card 2, travel and entertainment with airline miles. Card 3, emergency fund backup. Card 4, balance transfers with 0% promotional rates. Each card had a role, a budget, and most importantly, a payoff strategy. Before I continue, I need to pause for a moment. If this information is adding value to your financial journey, please hit that subscribe button for the Cash and Consequences channel. Creating content like this requires significant research, time, and resources. To those of you who are already subscribed, thank you. You're the reason I can continue sharing these strategies that have taken me 15 years to develop and refine. Your subscription encourages me to keep delivering content that can genuinely change your financial life forever. Now let's talk about the real benefits that most financial advisors won't tell you because they're too conservative or simply don't understand advanced credit strategies. Multiple credit cards, when managed correctly, create what I call financial arbitrage opportunities. Last month, I received a balance transfer offer at 0% interest for 18 months on one of my cards. Simultaneously, I had $25,000 in business cash that I could either use to pay expenses or invest. Instead of using the cash, I transferred business expenses to the 0% card and invested that $25,000 in a short-term investment yielding 7% annually. The math is beautiful. I'm earning 7% on money that costs me 0% for 18 months. But here's a story that'll make you laugh and learn simultaneously. My colleague Jean-Pierre in France, who's now worth about $4.2 million, once told me about his credit card roulette phase. He had 15 cards and would randomly pick one for each purchase. Sounds insane, right? But he discovered something fascinating. By spreading his purchases randomly, he was naturally optimizing his utilization ratios and earning rewards across multiple categories without thinking about it. Sometimes accidental genius looks like planned strategy. However, let me be brutally honest about the dangers, because I've seen too many people destroy their financial futures with this approach. Multiple credit cards amplify both your financial wisdom and your financial stupidity. If you're someone who struggles with impulse purchases, who doesn't track expenses, or who treats credit like free money, then having multiple cards will accelerate your path to bankruptcy. The psychological aspect is crucial. In my consulting practice, I've noticed that Canadians tend to be more conservative with credit compared to Americans, while French clients often view credit cards as emergency tools rather than daily instruments. These cultural differences matter because they affect spending behavior. Here's my litmus test for multiple credit cards. Can you accurately tell me right now your total credit card debt, your total available credit, and your average utilization across all cards? If you hesitated or couldn't answer, you're not ready for multiple cards. The rewards game is real though. I earned $18,000 last year just from credit card rewards, cashback, airline miles, hotel points, and promotional bonuses. That's not spending money I didn't have. That's earning money on purchases I was making anyway. The difference is intentionality. One final thought that might challenge your thinking. Wealthy people don't avoid debt. They avoid bad debt. There's a massive difference between debt that costs you money and debt that makes you money. My 17 credit cards, 15 of them have zero balances and are used purely for rewards and credit optimization. The other 2 carry strategic balances on promotional rates, while I deploy cash elsewhere for higher returns. So, is it a good idea to use multiple credit cards for daily life? The answer depends entirely on who's asking the question. If you're someone who pays bills late, doesn't budget, or uses credit to maintain a lifestyle you can't afford, then no. Stick to one card, or better yet, use cash. But if you're disciplined, strategic, and understand that credit cards are financial tools rather than spending enablers, then yes, multiple cards can significantly enhance your financial position. Remember, personal finance is exactly that, personal. What works for a tech entrepreneur in Toronto might not work for a teacher in Denver. The key is honest self-assessment and gradual implementation. What's your credit card strategy? Are you team one card only, or do you optimize with multiple cards? Drop a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. I love hearing from viewers around the world, and I always respond to subscribers first. See you in the next video. Peace.